Okay, introduce Otosi. Introduce Otosi.
We're back. This is Spiritual Awakening, and we're going to have Brooks to give us a presentation. So at this time, I present Otosi Brooks.
Thank you so much, Nana, and thank you for everyone gathered here and people who are observing online. We appreciate you tuning in. And today I want to talk about brain longevity. And it is becoming an epidemic among people of whatever persuasion or different races that we're having these memory problems. So what are the causes of memory problems? So I'm going to go through, I'm not a medical person in any way. I'm not giving any sort of medical advice, but we're just looking at some of the issues that face us and some research on the reasons why there is this increased awareness of these memory problems. So the information I'm giving you is from the book Brain Longevity, and one of the authors of the book is Dr. Dharma Singh Khalsa. And I've picked out a few of the issues that affect us. So first of all, there are 5 things that we need to be mindful of with the brain, which is one, that your brain is flesh and blood. So this means that it can be repaired. So we're going to look at some of what we would do to repair our blood, just as if we have any other injury, that medical science or whatever other alternatives you might look to heal and repair you, there's a way to repair your brain. Our brain's power is limitless, and you might have heard it said that we're only using maybe 10% of the power of our brain. Our brain has an infinite capacity for joy and pleasure. So what happens is when you have a lot of stress, that burns up your capacity for joy and pleasure. And there are certain chemicals that would normally be released in the brain that would encourage that feeling of joy and euphoria, which is burnt up by stress. Your brain has plasticity, and that means that it can renew itself. So often when someone from a stroke and the person comes back and they start regaining some of what they're able to do before, so there was a part of the brain that was damaged, but what happens is that it starts growing new dendrites. We're in a beautiful garden here with a lot of trees, and if anybody knows about gardening, if you prune the tree, you cut off a limb, the tree will simply start growing another limb from another area. So that's akin to what happens in our brain. When it's damaged and we might lose certain function, the brain starts growing new dendrites. Every time you learn something new, then your brain is growing these extra branches that will compensate in some cases for some loss that you might have suffered. So that's number 4. And finally, number 5, there's still a lot that science does not know about how the brain works. Mystery, but what we do know that it is a huge system, complex system, which is better than any of the computers that have been built so far. So we're going to look at one of the legs on which keeping your brain healthy for as long as you can and repairing the brain stands on it, which is nutritional therapy. So Nutritional therapy can help to repair and regenerate brain cells. So some of the things are what we've been exposed to before in this new age, or we've been more aware of nutrients. So eat a low-fat diet, eat nutrient-dense food, avoid hypoglycemia. So stay away from starvation diets. You eat regularly. Eat a low-calorie diet. Lots of whole grains, vegetables, fruits, non-animal based protein, or if you must eat meat, low-fat dairy and meat. Take supplements, eat real food. So if you have a capacity to plant a garden, and here at Mama's Village there is, bringing it back to where we are, what we're doing here, a beautiful garden that Sister Naima tends, and there are all sorts of fruits and vegetables. So if you can grow your own fruits, it's better. Some of the things that you buy in the store, in order to preserve it, they have to add chemicals and other things to it, which in some cases not good. And finally, feed your neurotransmitters. There are specific nutrients that go to your brain and rebuilding those, such as lecithin, which can be found in soy or eggs, B vitamins, especially B5, and vitamin C. So we want to keep in mind that aging isn't always a process of degeneration. We don't have to, because we're older, our bodies just collapse and we lose functions or ability to process information. It can be an opportunity for us to regenerate. So we put mind over matter and matter over mind. So when we come and we meditate, that is some of what we're doing, replacing mind over matter and being able to synergize and connect with God, with whatever you consider God, an infinite being, and bring that energy to your brain. Your brain is vulnerable, and one of the things that we mentioned before that affects it is stress. And in this society, we undergo a huge amount of stress every single day. And I think that maybe one of the reasons why we're seeing so much more as people get older, that they fall prey to these different ways that we lose function. So in order to do that, we have to nurture your brain. So you can be intelligent and happy and fully functional during every single stage of your life. But you've got to control stress, and no matter how you might feel that your brain power is less, you can always improve it, no matter what age. Your brain has an infinite capacity for learning. And this is one of the other things, the muscles that you can use that will keep you healthy and functional all through your life. So we have a limitless capacity for learning and joy, and there is no such thing as false hope. So I'm quoting again from Anna Khalsa, don't give up. The best is yet to come. Your life, as always, lies ahead. Thank you very much.
So we enjoyed that presentation. Thank you, and tell us something else.
Right. In the book, there's a series of exercises, yoga exercises, and I've given those present one of the exercises, which is a chant. So I'm just going to demonstrate the chant. We're not going to actually do it because it's about 10 minutes of chanting, where you start chanting in your normal voice, then you chant in a whisper, then you chant silently, and then you go back to your normal voice. So the silent chant is your divine language. Okay, it's kind of, so it is sound, because sound has a effect on the body. So the sound is sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma, and with each sound you're going to touch the finger to your thumb. So for the sa, you're going to touch the index finger to the thumb, ta, the other finger, na, and then the last finger, ma. So what it means is sa means birth or infinity, ta means life or existence, na means death or completion, and ma means rebirth. So this, we look at the cycle of life, which is in a lot of different traditions, including the African tradition, that we do not die. Energy just recalibrates itself in another form, but there is no death. So that's why there is, I think, ma, the rebirth. So maybe we could try doing. So you use both hands and do the sa, ta, na, na, 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 sa, ta, na, ma, and then a whisper. Sa, ta, na, whisper. Sa, ta, na, sa, ta, na, sa, ta, na, sa, ta, na, and then silently. And then a whisper. Normal voice. Sa, ta, na, na, 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 sa, ta. And so when you're doing this, you would actually do each revolution, with your normal voice, whisper and silently for 2 minutes for each chant. So that is one of the exercises that Dr. Dharma gives his patients to have regenerated brain. So feel free to practice, look up for yourself information, and again, peace and blessings.
Thank you very much. I'll be glad when I'll be able to send out the books. Yes. That was very interesting, because I've heard many times that chanting is good for the brain. So this the beginning of something that we will start at a later time. Anyone else have anything else to say in our conversation of our presentation? Arthur, do you have anything to say? Mama?
You mentioned you mentioned something, and I wanted to say something about it.
Yes, there was something there you said. I wanted to say something.
Yeah, but I didn't want to stop you in what you were saying. But
But one thing, you're still looking? Okay. But one thing I know, I've heard before, that fatty foods is high in cholesterol. It's not good for the brain.